Buenos dias, Brooklyn. How was your yesterday? Very good. What was so great? Can you share? Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, I get that. Same here for me. That's great. Yeah, it kind of helps doing like doing homework as you get it, right? And then yes, ma'am. Yeah, but you know how in English, I mean, we even use those kind of interchangeably, but yes, you're right. Specifically, yes. Buenos días, Jomarian. ¿Cómo estás? Jomarian, ¿cómo te lo pasaste ayer? Hmm? What'd you do yesterday? Anything fun? Did you have a good day? Buenos días, Malia. ¿Cómo te lo pasaste ayer? How was your day yesterday? It was cool. Yeah, like cool in a good way or cool like temperature wise, Marion. In a good way. Yay. Everybody had a good day yesterday, it sounds like so far. Did you have a good day too, Malia? So check out our question, you guys, while we wait for a couple of other folks. ¿Cuál es tu and there should be a space there, obviously. ¿Cuál es? It's two different words. ¿Cuál es tu restaurante favorito? What's your oh, muy bien, Malia. What's your favorite restaurant? And there should be a space between qual and s. It's my typo. ¿Cuál es tu restaurante favorito? So I have one person that tells me Chili's. They like to eat at Chili's. Gotcha. Anybody else? Okay, got Panda Express. All right. I don't know that one. Ichiban. We don't have that here. Ichiban. Is that like a locally owned Ichiban? Oh, okay. Cool. Anybody else? ¿Cuál es tu restaurante favorito? Or maybe you don't have one and you can tell me that, right? No lo tengo. No tengo restaurante favorito. ¿Cuál es? Okay, Jamarian. Jamarian no tiene un restaurante favorito. No, no tiene. Jamarian, ¿hay una comida que te gusta más? Is there like a food that you like the best, like Mexican or Italian or Chinese or something like that? Or American, like a Mexican. Okay, muy bien. Buenos días, Marlesia. ¿Cómo estás hoy? So we're talking about up here. I made a mistake, right? There should be a space right here. It's two words, ¿cuál es? Or maybe Google and its, spelling correction goofed it up and I didn't notice. ¿Cuál es tu restaurante favorito? What is your favorite restaurant? Or si no tiene, if you don't have one, ¿qué comida te gusta más? So which food do you like best? Like if you go out to eat, do you want like steakhouse? Do you want burgers? Do you want Mexican? Do you want Chinese? What's your preferred? So far, we have Panda Express or Ichiban, but not a favorite restaurant, Marlesia. Like if you had your choice. So then we had Chili's, and then we have, as a food, we have Mexican food is our favorite to go out to eat. Anybody else? No favorite? Okay. Muy bien. See. Well, some of you guys know that I have spent, I should say, quite a bit of time in the state of New Mexico. Because my daughter was a student there and we like to go there on vacations and things. And one thing that I appreciate about New Mexico, generally speaking, is the fact that so many of the restaurants are family. They're not chain kind of restaurants, and I like that. I like that it's a lot of them are just kind of these little holes in the wall or whatever, private, owned by a family or owned by somebody, but they're not like part of a big chain, right? And yeah, I think that's kind of cool, especially for a big city, like an Albuquerque or something like that. Okay, muy bien. So we're going to have a little bit of a different day today. So let me tell you kind of what we got going on. I need to take roll because then I'll forget. But I'm glad y'all had a good day yesterday. And I'm hoping, so we're going to kind of experiment today. Okay, so I hope y'all are up for a little experimentation. And we'll see. I always have that plan B, All right, let me take roll real fast. Okay. So behind me, you guys, oops, wrong one. Hoy es jueves, right? It's Thursday. El 4 de septiembre. Already, it's the 4th of September. Wow. Y vamos a repasar los verbos. So we're going to review those verbs, pedir, querer, and preferir real quick, just to kind of, because, we weren't together yesterday. And this is the experiment. Vamos a crear un tebeo or una historia pequeña. So based on my background, you guys, you can see like a comic strip, right? Cartoon, whatever we want to call it. So we're going to experiment with that a little bit today, I'm hoping. Okay. Fingers crossed that it all works, right? So that's our plan for today. All right, y'all ready to start? Give me thumbs up. See, no, see? All right, muy bien. All right, so let's warm up. Let's just look first, right? It's always easier to just look. I'm going to share my screen. maybe share. Alrighty. So we talked a little bit about verbs that are regular and irregular, right? Because they don't follow, like regular verbs follow the same pattern. Irregular because they don't follow a pattern. Okay, we have to just kind of know those and practice those. And then within that irregular group, some of them get really goofy, like gustar follows its own path, it does its own thing. And so here we have two verbs, and also if we add pedir, which is to ask, right? We have these two that are what we call, they're irregular because their stem changes, right? Or the root of the word changes its spelling. And so we call these E to IE. Now, I don't call them that way just because it doesn't make me any difference to me, right? But it's E to IE. So this QUE on querer, to want, becomes, right, IE. So E to IE. Yo quiero, tú quieres, él quiere, nosotros queremos, and ellos quieren. Okay. Remember that thankfully nosotros never changes. It just follows notice there's no like E to IE there. Okay. It just stays the same. But we also need to remember that ER verbs, right, you guys, are the endings to those are OESE, EMOS, and EN, right? So OESE, emos, and N. So the endings are normal, right? The endings are the same endings for any other regular ER verb. So what makes these irregular is that E to IE, that spelling change, okay? Also, again, just as a reminder, preferir, to prefer, is an IR verb. So if we notice those endings, O, ES, E, and then EMOS or IMOS, right? We don't worry about this one. And then EN. So it's the same IR verb endings as always, but again, we have that E to IE change, right? Prefiero, prefieres, prefiere, preferimos, and prefieren. Okay? All right, preguntas real quick. Any questions real quick? Okay. So I'm gonna stop sharing. Oh, I know I need to share this one with you real quick. So then we had pedir, right, you guys, to ask for or to order. Right? So we're going to try to use these today in our comic strip, okay, in our cartoon. So notice here it's PEDIR. So it's an IR verb. So we're going to have those same endings, OESE, IMOS, and EN. Remember, we don't worry about this one. Okay. So regular IR verb endings, but the E in pedir becomes an I. So I ask for, yo pido. You ask for, tú pides. He asks for, él pide. We ask for, pedimos. So notice our nosotros, thank goodness for them, they don't budge, right? And then ellos piden. So again, you guys, these are in the module, and we're going to come back to them later, right? Let me clear my little drawings. Okay, muy bien. All right, I'm going to stop sharing. So we're going to work with those today. And the first thing that we're going to do is just kind of just do like random practice with them. So give me a second here. And let's see. Let's try this one. I'm going to put a link in the chat. And I need everybody to meet me there. All right, there it is. How you doing today, Marlasia? Good? Okay, everybody, Joe Marion, join us here. Anvil, hex, silver, and star. All right, let's do this, okay? Remember, these are just practice, you guys. No sweat. Yeah, I need to share, do I? Don't give up. Just take your time, you guys. Brooke, what's your play name? Okay, gotcha. Good job, guys. So remember the one where they say in Spain, right? That's vosotros. So just, you can just, the one that you don't recognize, right? right, good job, Marlasia. Good job, Jo Marion. Good morning, Arshad. How are you today? We are playing a booklet so that we can practice our verbs preferir and querer. And we're almost done. So if you just want to chill for a little bit. I guess you could try to join. I don't know what the setting is, but anyway, I'll send it to you here, Arshad, and you can try and get in. See if they'll let you in. There you go. Check it out. So yeah, so all of these things today are not just to practice, but we're gonna try hopefully to experiment a little bit today with something where we use them. Good job, you guys. Give it a try, Arshad. This one's kind of tricky. Wow, you guys are doing really well. Okay, 20 seconds. Silvertail in the lead. 10 seconds. All right. All right, good job. Joe Marion. All right, so tell me who you were in the chat. Tell me who you were. You guys did great. That was a tough one, wasn't it? A little tough. Yeah. All right, who was silver? I know who Anvil was. All right, Joe Marion. Woo, Joe Marion. Good job. Malia. Yes. I know that's part of the game, right? That's part of the game. All right, great job, you guys. All right. So then let's turn our attention to this verb to ask. And fortunately, I don't have a very exciting game for that one, but this should work. Hopefully you guys can access it. So I'm going to put the link in the chat, and it's really just short and sweet. Okay. It's more of a multiple choice. I wouldn't say that it's a game, but anyway. Okay, so it should look like this. It should look like this. And so remember, you guys, that it's an IR verb. So it's the endings are O, ESE, IMOS, and EN. But that E in pedir, that PE becomes an I, right? Except for nosotros, because remember, nosotros is our friend. It never changes. Okay. All right. So go ahead and play around with that a little bit. I'm assuming it's letting you in. Let me double check here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, Jamarian, does that link work for you? Give it a try. Arshad, give it a try. Let's see. Marlasia, is it working for you? I can see that you're on it, but I can't see that. Oh, I see. Yeah. Good job. All right, let's see Marlasia. Yay, see your results. Congratulations. Woo! Jamarian, are you in this thing? Did you click on the second link? It's short. It's just 6 questions. So what's the nosotros ending? Isn't it always either amos, hemos, or imos, right? Yep. Okay, another minute, you guys. Good job, Brooklyn. Malia, I still can't see your Go Guardian screen, so I don't mean to be ignoring you. I just can't see. Or should I give that a try? Because here in a minute, we're going to be using these things. Okay. All right, you guys, let's back out of that one. All right, good job, you guys. That was just, like I said, that wasn't really a game, just a little practice. Okay, Arshad and Jomarian. Right. All right, here we go. So the next thing that we're going to do is kind of a listening deal because, we always have to practice our listening some way, somehow. And so I'm going to ask you a simple question. I'll put up a thing. Well, here, let me just show it to you. And we won't do all of these slides, okay? But it's just a listening practice, okay? So I will show you a picture and I'll ask you a question using querer or preferir, right? And then you hold up your finger to show which activity you would want that you prefer, right? Which one you want or which one you prefer, okay? And so if you want to do, you'll see like there'll be picture for number 1 and then a picture for number 2. So whichever one you prefer to do, you just hold up your finger. Okay, does that make sense? So for example, if I say to you, do you want to do this activity? So I would say, ¿quieres? Like if I'm speaking to you, ¿quieres hacer la tarea o salir en bote? So if you look at the pictures, right? Hacer la tarea, the first kid appears doing his homework, or salir en bote, to go out in a boat, right? And so whichever one you would prefer, if you would prefer to do your homework, you would hold up finger number, just give me a finger, or if you prefer to go in a boat, you would hold up the 2 fingers. Does that make sense, you guys? See or no? See? Yeah? But be prepared because I may ask you to answer me because I'm asking you a question, right? I'm saying to you, ¿quieres hacer la tarea o salir en bote? Do you want to do your homework or go out in a boat? So you would say to me the yo form, right? Quiero salir en bote, right? So be prepared because I might call on you to answer out loud. Are you with me? Since you're saying yo, your endings are going to end, your verb is going to end in an O, right? Quiero or prefiero, right? All right, here we go. I want to see everybody holding up some fingers, okay? All right, clase, listen carefully. ¿Prefieres correr o prefieres salir en bote? So one finger or two, which would you prefer? Jo Marion? Malia? I can't see your finger. Okay, gracias, Arshad. Malia, what do you say? ¿Prefieres correr o salir en bote? Marlesia, I'm with you. Yeah, Malia, you can just hold up a finger. Jo Marion? Muy bien. Okay, Brooke, I'm going to ask you. So the question was, ¿prefieres correr o salir en bote? So you need to use that verb preferir to respond to me. Can you unmute real quick? So you're going to start by saying prefiero and then tell me which one you prefer. Correr o salir en bote. Yeah, can you unmute, Brooklyn?
Prefiero correr.
Okay, muy bien. Okay, so clase, Brooklyn prefiere, right? She prefers, ella prefiere correr, right? A mí también, me too. Okay, I'm not a water person much. All right, let's go on. Okay. Clase, ¿prefieres beber o hacer la tarea? One or two? Tell me one or two. Okay, Jo Marion? Malia, one or two? One. Malia? ¿Prefieres beber o hacer la tarea? One or two? Okay, so let's say, good job. All right, Marlesia. Contéstame, por favor. ¿Quieres, or either one, or prefieres, whichever verb you want to use, beber o hacer la tarea?
Prefiero beber.
All right, muy bien, clase. Ella prefiere beber, right? She'd rather have something to drink. Okay, muy bien. Okay, how about this one? ¿Quieres comer? Do you want to eat? O quieres hacer la tarea or do your homework? Do you want? ¿Quieres comer? O hacer la tarea? Give me a thumbs up. I mean, give me a fingers. Arshad? ¿Quieres? Do you want to eat? ¿Quieres comer? O hacer la tarea? Okay, nobody wants to do homework, right? Muy bien, muy bien. Okay. Let's see. Malia, can you unmute? Malia, ¿quieres? Yes, por favor, Malia. ¿Quieres comer o quieres hacer la tarea? So remember, if you're going to make it yo, it's going to end in an O, right? So give it a try.
Yo quieres como.
So quiero, we got to, if it's yo, it's going to end in an O, right? So quiero
So yo quiero como.
comer. Muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. Okay, I want to eat. Yo quiero comer, right? Very good. Because we have two verbs there, right? Want and eat. And so when we have two verbs together like that, like immediately following each other, we only change the first one. The second one stays in the original form. So this would be quiero comer, right? We leave comer as it is. Okay, it's a good reminder. Muy bien. Okay, one more. I'm going to skip a few. Let's see. Okay, let's do this one. Let's see, clase. ¿Quieres hacer la tarea o quieres hacer ejercicio? This one might be a tough choice. So give me a finger one, finger two, whatever. Do you want? Okay. Brooklyn. Malaysia. Okay. Arshad, muy bien. Jomarian, muy bien. Malia, what do you say? Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay. So this may have been a difficult one for a couple of us, right? All right, who wants to? Jomarian, can you unmute? Or Arshad, can you unmute and tell me what you prefer? Prefiero what? Hacer la tarea o hacer ejercicio? Can you unmute, Jomarian? There you go. Give it a try.
Prefiero hacer ejercicio.
Yeah, okay, very good. So remember that J is like a H sound. Ejercicio. That's a hard word to say. Good job, Jamarian. You did good because that was hard. All right, bueno. Okay, so let's let the experiment begin, you guys. So I need your like attention for instructions here, okay? Here's what I would like us to do. All right, let me get there. I would like for us to create, now listen carefully because there's no written, I don't have a written instruction. I'll put it in the chat, but I don't have it like in Canvas or something. So what I would like for us to do is, have you guys ever used Storyboard? Have you guys ever used Storyboard? Ever heard of that? No? Okay. I used to use it. Yeah. Okay. All right, it's thinking. Give me a second. And it's basically one of those things where you can make your own, kind of like a comic strip. You can make your own avatars, you dress them, you do all of those things. You know what I mean? And all I would like for us to do is, it can be one storyboard or it could be multiple images, right? So it all depends on how you want your story to be, if you will. Okay. And I would like for you to practice the verbs to want, querer, and preferir, to prefer. Okay. And, you know, let's just think of some, and it can be like a restaurant setting or in a cafe or something like that, since we're talking about food, and you can use the food vocab, right? And, you know, it can be things like, you know, what do you want to drink today, right? ¿Qué quieres beber hoy, right? What do you want to drink today? Like, take all of these elements that we know, that we've seen, and just try to put them together in like simple sentence, right? To make like a conversation. So you could have two people, you could have a group of friends, you could do, you know, whatever. So let me see if I can find it. Oh, I don't know, like let's see. All right, let me share this with you. Okay, so like this is an example of like food and restaurant vocabulary, right? So you can see how you can make your own background, you can make your own avatars, you can set them in whatever situations you want to set them in, okay? Like I said, and make your own conversation, make your own, like with the little speech bubbles, or you can make like your visual and then like put your narration sentences or something like Bob said and Mary said if they're talking to each other, give them names, right? Whatever. And so you can say something like, and I will put my background up here real quick. You can say things like, so if you can see my Zoom background, you guys, there's question words there. So you could say things like, ¿qué quieres? What do you want? Or ¿qué prefieres? What do you prefer? Like if you're in a restaurant, right? You could have like the waiter talking or something. Oh, quiero el desayuno. I want breakfast. Okay. Okay. So then the other person could say, okay, so prefieres huevos or pan, do you want eggs or toast or, whatever, right? It doesn't have to be, obviously we're just practicing vocab, so I'm not expecting a huge story, right? So you can make just one storyboard or you can make a series of storyboards. I don't want really any more than 2 or 3, at the most. I would be happy with one, as long as you have multiple kind of conversations going back and forth. I do want to see you use the food vocab. I do want to see you use both querer and preferir. Okay. Other than that, you guys can be as creative as you want. Okay. Remember that your vocab is in the module, right? The food vocab and the verb forms are in the module. And so you can open those up on another tab or whatever. Okay. So any questions about that? Because I'm going to try to give you the link that you need. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. All right, so I think what we need to do, again, I told you guys this was an experiment, right? And I like to experiment usually anyway. So we will have to be flexible. Okay, so take a look at my screen. So I am in storyboard that. Can y'all see that up here? And when I try to give you the link, okay, when I try to give you the link, it says it's linked to Clever, and you should log in from your Clever dashboard. I guess you would just do a search in Clever. Or we can try this. Okay, everybody understand what I'm asking you to do? So you can try that link that I just put in chat, or head on over to Clever. And in your search bar thing, you're going to type in storyboard that. Or try the link that's in the chat. Okay. Okay, Arshad, so I guess you have to accept that or whatever you got to do there. Joe Marion, I need you to join us. And you're not going to see an assignment, right? Is it just going to allow you to open a thing, or do I need to make it an assignment? Can you help me out? Again, we're experimenting, I've not used this through Clever or with your school, so let me know what I need to do. Okay, so you can give it a title. There you go. Joe Marion, I need you to join us. All right, I see you there. Okay. Yay, everybody's in. Okay, so I'll put the instructions in chat, right? Okay, I just put your simple instructions, right? In the chat. And you can say like, you can add other verbs like drinking, eating, que quieres beber, right? Que quieres comer, que quieres hoy, what do you want today, or whatever. Behind me, if you all can still see my Zoom screen, I have question words. Okay, so if you looking on how to make a question, you can use those. Anything else is really up to your flavor. No, it doesn't have to be done by the end of the day today. But we have time, I think, right? When class ends at 20 till, so we have like 20 minutes, and I don't expect it to be, a huge story. So if you can get it done today, that's great. I just wanted to give us enough time in case we had a tech issue or something. Well, that's the question, Brooklyn. There should either be a way to do it within Clever, within the storyboard, and if not, copy and paste the link and then go to Canvas inbox and attach it in an email to me, right? Make sure that makes sense. Try to be creative with it. It's meant to be a little fun, right? But don't forget that the whole point is to practice those verbs and the vocab, right? So when you finish this, if you get this done today and you have time, there is a practice sheet in the module for querer, for to want. Okay. It's not due until next week. But if you finish your storyboard early today and you want to start on it, you can do that. You may need to refresh your Canvas screen, but it's there. Whatever you prefer, if you want to try your Spanish, Malia, just know online, right? Gotta think about it yourself. Yeah, that's perfect. Just don't forget your question mark, right? Yep. Since it's a question, okay, what, right? Mm-hmm. That's good. Okay, let me know if you have trouble turning it in or anything like that. I might be able to help you. If you finish, you can head on over to the module in Canvas, make sure that you refresh because there's a practice sheet there. Under, yeah. Marlasia, did you have trouble turning that in? Or how did you turn it in? Yep, and good. Okay, Arshad, yeah. Did you figure out how to turn it in, Arshad? Well, let's see. You should be able to, I don't know if it's easier for, let's see, hold on one second, Brooke, and I'll try to answer your question. Let me kind of get there.
I just found it.
You did? Okay, perfect. Okay, how are we doing, you guys? Malia, have you ever tried to clear the cache and the cookies off that Chromebook? You have tried? I don't know why we can't see your Go Guardian. Because if you ever had a question when we see something, I would not be able to help you. Okay, we have about, just FYI, you guys, we have about, okay, Malia, I sent in a question. Let's see if we can figure it out. Does it happen in other classes too, Malia? Do you know? Yes, okay. I'll see if maybe, I don't know, we'll figure it out. I was gonna say, oh, we have about 4 minutes, you guys, just an FYI. If you want to try to finish your storyboard before the end of the hour today. There's also that practice sheet in Canvas on querer, but it's not due till next week, FYI, right? So again, no stress. You should be able to add another page, right? Doesn't it allow you to add another page? Let's see, I'm looking at your screen. Add and delete cells. Do you see it bottom left, Brooklyn? Or if you wanted to use the same background, I guess you could copy cell and then go in and change what you need to change. Did it work? Oh. So it lets you, oh, I see. So it added a blank cell. Yeah, right. So if you wanted to reuse the same background, you'd have to copy cell. Yep, I can see it. Speech bubbles. So September 15th, you guys, starts Hispanic Heritage Month. So we'll see if we can do something fun. Look into some Spanish heritage stuff. Or Hispanic Heritage Month, I guess I should say. All right, we have about a minute, so try to save, download, do something, bookmark, you know, whatever you need to do. So you don't lose what you already have. Right, you guys? Okay, that's our time. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Nos vemos lunes. See you Monday, right? Stay safe, you guys. Adios. Great job today. Gracias. Have a great day, you guys. Adios.